Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Kentucky state troopers were led on a high-speed chase in multiple counties. And Sleep in Heavenly Peace hosted a community event to help build beds for children.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 5:32 on August 14th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And we're in a first alert weather day, Brandon, so obviously there are some chances throughout the day of any sort of weather. I know.
Yeah, and here I really wish I could pin it down for you better than that, but the models, there is no agreement in the models this morning. So we're trying to track two different potential rounds of storms, one maybe potentially later this morning, one potentially later today. All depends on the first round. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar this morning. Couple of spotty showers trying to pop up, one moving from out of Lawrence County and in from Martin County and Pike County over into West Virginia right now. And then there's another one down to the south. Let's see if I can move in just a little bit closer on those couple of cells down that way for a second into parts of Wayne County and McCreary County. So a little bit of action down that way this morning. Current conditions, of course, the hazard camera went out on us on the roof, but that's okay. Maybe we'll come back. I'll show you those temperatures in the meantime. 60s in Southwest Virginia and in Williamsburg. Everybody else is in the 70s this morning, so it is a mild and muggy start to the day across the state and region. All kinds of 70s out there. Looks like 75 in Louisville is our warm spot across the region this morning. Your breakfast forecast, we're going to continue to see the possibility for some cloudy skies this morning, maybe some spotty showers in spots. I know that's kind of a redundant statement there, but again, temperatures staying in the 70s through about mid-morning, and the clouds will ebb and flow as well. We'll track those two rounds of storms for you coming up here in just a little bit. Olivia?
Brandon, thank you. Officials with the Whitley County Sheriff's Department are asking for help in finding Cody Dean. Dean is reportedly from the southern end of Whitley County and wanted on arson and other charges. Officials say Dean was reportedly stabbed in Campbell County, Tennessee over the weekend and taken to the University of Tennessee Medical Center for treatment. Police say Dean left the hospital and returned to Kentucky. If you have any information on Dean's location, you can call Whitley County Dispatch at 606-549-6017. A Laurel County man is facing charges after police say he caused a disturbance for drivers. Police say it happened Friday morning off Highway 3434 just north of London. Laurel County Sheriff's deputies say they received reports that a man was waving his arms and screaming at cars when they drove by. When they arrived, deputies say Michael Medlock was in the road and found that he was under the influence. He has been charged with disorderly conduct, public intoxication, resisting arrest, and menacing. Kentucky State Police troopers are investigating a crash in Lee County that left 2 people dead. Just before 9 p.m. Saturday, troopers say they were called about a crash with possible entrapment on Kentucky 52 West. Following an investigation, officials say a 2006 Ford F-150 driven by Joshua Reed was going west on Kentucky 52. Reed, 39, lost control of the truck, causing it to go over an embankment and overturn. Reed and a passenger, 61-year-old Charles Dennis, were pronounced dead at the scene by the Lee County Deputy Coroner. This investigation is ongoing. One man was killed after an ATV crash in Martin County. Officials say 29-year-old William Dillon crashed on Emily Creek Road early Sunday morning. Martin County Coroner Chris Todd says he got the call around 5 a.m. Dillon was taken to the medical examiner's office in Frankfort for an autopsy. The crash is under investigation. 3 people are hurt after a car crashed into a Frankfort restaurant. It happened Friday afternoon at the Taco Bell on Versailles Road. That's when Kentucky State Police say 2 cars crashed in the roadway. One of those vehicles veered off the road, jumped the curb, and crashed through the side of the restaurant. Officials tell us the 3 people eating inside were injured when the crash happened. All 3 were taken to the hospital. One was airlifted. Deborah Wade works across the street. She watched as the scene quickly unfolded.
How do you go to get something to eat for dinner and end up in the hospital? You want everybody to be all right. You want them to be able to see tomorrow. So you automatically pray, Lord, please, you wrap your wings around them, make sure that they're all right.
No employees were hurt in the crash. An official with Taco Bell says their dining room will stay closed for several days. A man is in federal custody after police say he led them on a high-speed chase through several Kentucky counties. Officials say a Kentucky state trooper tried to pull over Tyler Allen Friday in Mount Vernon. They say he threw out some drugs, then took off, reaching speeds of 135 miles per hour. He crashed in Berea. Police say he then ran into a restaurant and ended up on its roof. The restaurant's manager said at first they didn't know what was going on.
I mean, yeah, for a little bit. I mean, because, you know, we didn't have any idea what was going on while the cops had their guns out. And, you know, so, yeah, I mean, for a little bit it was scary. We locked the store down and everybody inside was safe.
Allen is being held in the Rockcastle County Jail. The FBI is handling the case. Yesterday at Transylvania University, more than 100 Kentucky National Guard members were on hand with family and friends ahead of a deployment. The deployment, which will last 9 months, will send the troops to Southwest Asia. In addition to the soldiers' families, Governor Beshear was on hand to speak to the crowd. Family members and soldiers reflected on what the departure means for them.
It's always the small stuff, it's the little stuff that you end up missing the most. Yeah. Stuff that you don't even think about, you know, going for a ride together and just taking an evening ride, yeah. It's the little things.
The soldiers will depart for Asia this afternoon. Several Kentucky school districts are ensuring your child's safety. Rockcastle and Laurel County schools announced they installed new stop arm cameras on their school buses. It captures drivers who will pass buses illegally. WYMT's Grayson Passmore spoke with Transportation Director for Rockcastle County Schools about the new cameras.
When students are loading and unloading a school bus, that is the time that they are the most vulnerable.
As Transportation Director for Rockcastle County Schools, Ken Hopkins says when this stop arm comes out, drivers don't always stop. In fact, many speed right past it.
And a car illegally passes the stop sign, the camera will trigger and it will record the vehicle that passes.
The quality is so good, they can catch the license plate.
To be able to actually prosecute these cases, we need this video evidence, because if not, it's in essence our word against the driver's word.
Rockcastle County students will soon be getting on and off of these buses, and with the new safety measures in place, it's bus drivers who are feeling a lot of relief right now.
And then hopefully motivate people to not do this in the future.
Back in 2022, school bus surveillance video showed a driver of an SUV nearly hitting a 14-year-old Franklin County student. With the video evidence, a grand jury indicted the driver on 3 charges, including improper passing and wanton endangerment. While thankfully the student was physically okay, it's incidents like this one Hopkins hopes the stop arm cameras will catch and even prevent. In Rockcastle County, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
The school system now has 4 buses equipped with cameras. They hope to one day have enough funding for more. Sleep in Heavenly Peace, an organization dedicated to building beds for kids in Clay County, hosted a community build. WYMT's RJ Johnson has more on why volunteers joined in on the process.
Nearly 30 volunteers gathered at the Great Fork Baptist Church in Clay County to build beds for kids.
Sounds like busy bees here at work. It is. It's a bunch of people who are making sure that no kid sleeps on the floor in our town.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace Clay County Chapter President Roy Rice says it's good to see people come together for a good cause.
Everybody's just working as hard as they can and doing what they can to make sure that these kids have a place to sleep at night, get the rest that they need so they can do good at school.
Community Liaison Vanda Rice says their goal was to build 20 beds, and they did just that. She says people of all ages were there to help.
We want every volunteer to have their hands in wood, no matter the age. We want everybody touching the wood and doing each position.
One of those volunteers is 13-year-old Lily Smith, who has spent the past month collecting different donations across the county. She says she wanted to help kids less fortunate than her.
I went to a delivery and I seen the kids that didn't have the beds, and the smile when they got a bed was just, it was really sad to see the kids that don't have as much as I do.
She says she has learned to be grateful for the things that she has.
It makes you think about how you need to be more thankful. It really does, with the stuff that I get that they can't have.
Building one bed at a time, this team is sticking to their motto of no kid sleeps on the floor. In Clay County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
The group is always looking for more volunteers and donations. For more information, you can visit our website at WYMT.com. Coming up, the Writers Guild of America was offered a deal last week and are expected to make a decision soon.
Storm chances to be around today, and some of those could pack a punch. I'll have the latest in about 3 minutes.